Hello once again, this is Joanna. Welcome to your March readings. I have a couple of announcements, so this intro is going to be slightly longer, but there's good stuff here. Number one, first and foremost, thank you so much for watching, for coming back, for listening, for liking, for subscribing. For those of you who have booked a reading with me, thank you so much. You know who you are. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. March readings are different in a way that I have been asked to use completely different cards. I've never used them before. I actually bought them about 12-15 years ago when I was going through a pretty challenging time, and I kind of like them. I never in my life thought I was going to do these readings, certainly not on YouTube or live, or readings in general. And I was told very clearly to use these cards. Now, they have no numbers, they have no meanings, they have no symbology, they have nothing other than art in order to inspire certain emotion, to evoke certain feeling, and to prompt an intuition or intuitive prompting. In my case, it also starts the process of information flowing from my guides as far as feeling, hearing, and seeing and knowing. So I will show you these cards. They're called soul cards. There is soul cards. This is the first one, and I believe there's a soul cards 2. And you'll see, just like in this vision, there is nothing. There's no numbers. So the card will show up like this, and it'll evoke a certain feeling, image, words, and often a certain phrase that I will hear. So what I do with these cards is I hold them up to the screen so that you can look at them and see what emotion is evoked within you. Always listen to your intuition. Just because your interpretation is different than mine does not make mine or yours wrong or right. It simply means your information may be in addition to what I'm saying or instead of. So always listen to your intuition. I was very timid starting with these cards. I wasn't sure how I was going to like it. It's because there is no parameters. Mind you, I'm not one that fits within certain categories, so it's actually should have been no surprise to me that I would really like them, because the moment I started the first reading, I actually loved them. I loved the energy. I loved how it was just so easy for me to hear. It was just an instant flow. I wasn't bogged down by any numbers, any dates, any wording. It was there's nothing for me to interpret. It was just pure information flow. So I hope you like them. Please let me know, and maybe I will keep this for a while, or until my guide tells me to go and do something else, which is what he always does. And I just kind of go, okay, you know what you're doing, and I just follow. It's called trust. Now, the other thing is exciting, that on March 20th, I'm going to be debuting my very first radio show. That is March 20th, which is a Monday. It's going to happen every other Monday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. This show is going to be live. It is going to be archived, and I will post this also on my YouTube channel, so you can also listen to it afterwards. When it's live, some of the sessions will have a component of me doing a reading live, so you can call in, or doing a reading with somebody else so that you guys can call in. On Monday, my first show, I will be interviewing a lady, a phenomenal soul. Her name is Stephanie, and we're going to talk everything inspirational, and also everything, not creation, yes, but manifesting. So we will talk about her story. She's just super funny and just amazing. And we will talk everything about manifesting. We might even take a caller or two live to give free readings, or whatever it happens to be at the time. Point is, I would encourage you to listen to it, because the show is for you. When Spirit asked me to do the show, and I said, what the heck for? It was very clear to me that my work, however it's going to transpire, is something that you have been asking for, maybe not in a specific way, through me. And the show is all about empowering and inspiring people. And this is going to be done through messages from Spirit, information that I have gone through and interviewing different individuals who have inspiring stories. So what I would like to do is I would like to ask you to send me your ideas about what it is that you would like to see on the show. So send me an email. That information is down below for you, with a subject line radio show idea. And every time I implement the idea live, I will mention your name unless you ask me not to. So since this is for you, it only makes sense that I include and involve you in this process as much as possible. And I also think it's going to be fun. It's going to be, certainly when I use your ideas and you hear it, I think it just creates a certain involvement and an inclusivity, and I always want to be as inclusive as possible. And I think that's all I have. I don't want to talk too much because it's already way longer intro than any other intro, but I hope you can appreciate what it is that I was trying to say. Of course, these are general readings. If you would like more readings, I have videos on Vimeo for very small fee, and some of those are projections for 6 months, some of those are projections for 3 months for relationships, and I have those links included down below as well. Without further ado, let's get started with March reading. Thank you so much for watching, for liking, as always. And if you would like to contact me privately, that information is also down below. And I will see you in a moment. Stay tuned. Welcome, Taurus, to your March reading, your general reading. I have 4 cards laid down. I don't know what they are. I will hold each and every one to the screen so you can see what your intuition tells you. And then I will go with the interpretation of each card. Always remember that whatever you hear or feel for yourself from the card is also valid, in addition to what I'm saying or instead of. When I was shuffling the cards, concentrating on the sign of Taurus, I kept seeing the number 7. Aside from the fact that it's to me it's a very spiritually connected number. Someone told me a while ago, God created the world in 7 days. There are 7 major chakras. There's 7 days of the week. There is 777. So 7 is somehow a very spiritual number. But also to me, 7 represents mastering of an aspect of yourself. And when I say this, I hear the word intuition. So for some of you, those who are born under the sign of Taurus, moon, sun, on rising, there's a potential here for you to master your relationship with yourself in a way that allows you to become much more effective when it comes to your own intuition or your own inner voice. The other thing that I kept seeing, which was very random and completely out of the blue, I don't know what it means to you, but I kept seeing an image of an Egyptian god or goddess. I actually wasn't seeing whether it was male or female, but the way it was shown to me, it was very clear, ancient Egyptian depiction of a god or goddess. So I don't know how this resonates with you. I'm also seeing the Eye of Ra, or the third eye, which are those two are different, but I am seeing Eye of Ra and the third eye. For some of you, whatever the connection is, it's supposed to come forward so that you somehow will recognize this. Maybe some of you have a connection to ancient Egypt. I do, but I've never had this come out in a reading. I'm also a sign of Taurus, the very beginning of it. So let's see what comes up with this. The first card that is representative of the overall energies for the month of March is this card. What I will say about these cards is that this is almost the last reading, or almost last reading that I'm doing, and I think there's 65 or 72 cards in a deck, and they all keep repeating themselves. And I'm doing this over a period of 2 weeks, and there's shuffling in between because I use these cards in other things. So the fact that these cards are repeating themselves, it's quite interesting in itself. When I look at this card as the overall energy, I hear the words, let yourself go. Let yourself go of restrictions, limitations, your perceived ideas of the concept of you. In other words, what I'm hearing is you are limitless. The idea you have currently about yourself is defining you in a way that is keeping you limited in some aspect of your life. And it has to do with expression, with creation, with ability to effectively communicate from the depth of your soul. And it also has to do with the word trust. So trust in yourself, trust in your belief, trust in your own convictions, whatever they may be. Trust in yourself. So this card is representing the overall energies. So as overall energies, I feel that there will be March will be a time full of opportunities that will present themselves, that will act in a way that would allow you to free yourself from your past preconceived ideas. That's what he's asking me to say. And some of those outdated ideas, I see a hook. Those ideas are hooked into your past, and they're very firmly still attached to you, or you are firmly attached to whatever the old ideas of you are. And March is a time for you to be able to free yourself from it. I am being connected to my throat area, which is very much a vocal area, so it also is about expression. Expression is also connected to the solar plexus, but this is the voice box. So for some of you, you will, in the month of March, either learn...
We're woven together in our time.
Okay, my apologies for this. This has never happened. And a radio just came on. So radio is about speaking. And we were talking about expression and using voice. So very, very interesting. Anyway, the month of March is going to be very apropos to you using your voice in unconventional ways in order to help you free yourself from your past and your past convictions of yourself, but also allowing you to pave a way going forward that will help you set yourself free. Now that's a mouthful, and I'm going to have to listen to what I channeled, but when I channel information, it's just, I just say it without actually trying to wrap my brain around what it is that I'm actually saying. So that is the overall energies for the month of March. Now let's go, and incidentally, the number 7 is being shown to me. So whatever it is that you will be doing in the month of March, or you will be challenged with in the month of March, or dealing with or working on, has the potential to help you evolve and master an aspect of yourself that is connected to your own self-expression or expression of self. And I'm doing this, I'm holding my throat, which is interesting for me being a Taurus, because you know, this is what I do. I express through this particular venue on YouTube, this particular platform, and end of March is where I start my new radio show. So, but this isn't about me. It's just interesting how it just kind of connected there. So the next card is obstacles or opportunities that will arise in the month of March. And again, I'm going to show you the card. Beautiful card. Predominant colors of this card is, actually, is it red? Yeah, it's red. It's kind of red, pinkish, black and white. So red to me symbolizes the connection to your root chakra. It's about safety, security. It's about feeling safe and secure. It's about feeling stable and grounded. As you see, this lady, or what looks like is a lady, is standing there in a position of what almost looks like her arms are folded and she's in a praying position, or it could also be in a contemplative position. These little objects behind her, I actually see them as wings. You may see it as something else. I see them as wings. And when I look at this card closer, so, you know, pay attention to what your intuition is saying to you. But when I look at this card closer, I hear that she's coming out of dark. She's coming out of hiding, and I want to show you something here. You see her face here? It's almost like it's slashed in half. There's another part of her face here that looks almost screaming or tormented. And when I talk about this, I hear the word ego. So whatever is happening in the month of March is going to make you freak out a little bit. Your ego is going to get a bit of a kick. It's going to get a bit of a jolt. And the reason for that is because you will be making yourself open and available. That's an interesting choice of words, available. You're going to make yourself open and visible in a way that you have not allowed yourself to before, at least not to this extent. And we'll kind of go into each area of, where it falls for you. Which on one hand represents freedom of expression, but on the other hand, the part of you that always has been bound by certain sets of beliefs is going to freak out slightly because that part of you is not used to feeling or being vulnerable or open. So that is very interesting. Now, the fact that her hands they're actually a bit in receiving. The fact that there is a lot of red here also to me indicates, so it's red and white, indicates to me that you may feel in the month of March through a set of circumstances or challenges where parts of you will be triggered, and those triggers will make you feel uncomfortable, and they're connected to you feeling safe or secure or insecure. So your insecurities are going to be triggered, or there's a potential for your insecurities to come up to surface. Point is, I hear and see that something is going to transpire in the month of March. I also heard the month of May. So it could be anywhere from March to May. And I didn't hear this in all the signs, where the old chains are going to fall off of you. And as this happens, that fearful part of you that has been bound, but it's been in the safety of these chains, is going to freak out slightly because it doesn't know what's happening, and the situation, it's making that part of you feel uncomfortable. So that seems to be a challenge or an obstacle that will come up. For some of you, this is going to be surrounded around work. Some of you will be asked to speak or present, be a speaker, present something, put yourself out there more so than you have put yourself out there before. So there's definitely a sense of vulnerability here, but at the same time, there is an opportunity here for one to recognize their own strength and their own, I want to say their inner power, although it sounds a little bit cliche, but I'm going to say it anyway. I mean, my work is all about empowering people, so I might as well say it. I also hear, do not be afraid to take the chance, or do not be afraid of taking these chances. Now, the next thing I hear is relationship. So some of you will be presented with a situation within a relationship that is going to slightly shake you in your boots. And I'm going to ask what that is. And what I see is some of you are going to be faced with someone in your life, and this is going to be a close partner or boyfriend or husband, whatever you want to call it, someone close to you romantically. I hear the word jealousy. And whoever you are, for the most part, I feel that you're not necessarily a jealous person, but there is a streak of jealousy, and it's directly tied to your insecurities. And those insecurities are stemming from your root chakra 1 and 2. So 2 in particular, but also 1. Now, the insecurity that I'm talking about, I hear the words not good enough. So if you are one of those people who gets triggered in the month of March because something happens around your partner or within a relationship, or you get triggered and envy comes up, or jealousy, even in work environment, the trigger seems to be pointing directly to a fear around not being good enough or inadequacy. And what's important here to note is that month of March offers you the opportunity to turn that part of you around, to transform it, not to get rid of it, because once an impression is made, it can never be not impressed. It can't cease to exist. What it can happen though, it can be transformed, and it can be transformed into a strength rather than a perceived weakness or fear. So that is the challenge or obstacle in the month of March. But I do hear the number May. So month of May. So maybe for some of you who are born in month of May will resonate with this message much more so than those born of you at the end of April. But also it could signify that this can happen anywhere between the months of March and May. The next card is a card of action. So again, I'm going to hold this card for you. Beautiful card. See what transpires for you when you look at it. When I look at this card, first of all, people surrounded and holding each other. There seems to be a lot of support around you. And I hear the words, let yourself be supported. The image above these individuals is one that feels to me or speaks to me of being like the universe. And when I connect with that image, I hear the words, the universe is looking after you. So whatever situation you're going to find yourself in, know that you are supported. Ask for support. Ask for help if you are feeling, I actually heard the word nauseated. If you're feeling fearful to the point where you're nauseous, if you're feeling insecure, if you're feeling inadequate, whatever it is that you're feeling, you do not have to endure this by yourself. And the fact that these people are holding themselves, like they're embracing themselves and they're looking at the universe, there's very much a feeling of trust, feeling of trusting that everything is being looked after. And even though you may feel slightly off, awkward, fearful, inadequate, whatever it is that you feel, know that as you go through it, there is a potential for you to transform something quite old, and when I say old, I mean, well, old from childhood. And he's actually showing me again the image of ancient Egyptian god or goddess. So, and I've never talked about this in my readings because it never comes up. But for some of you, your fears might be stemming as far as your past lives. And if you have had regressions, maybe you will understand this, or maybe this will validate this for you, particularly when it talks about your speaking, expressing your individuality, specifically as a woman and as a man as well, expressing your creativity in a safe environment. And because something is going to come up in a month of March, or between March and May, it will trigger all those old wounds. And again, I'm being shown that image. I'm willing to bet that some of this stuff for some of you stems from some of your past lives. I'm also seeing the image of ink, A-N-K-H. Let me just see if I can draw it for you. I'm a terrible scribbler, but I will draw it for you. And ink is a symbol that is ancient Egyptian. It's a terrible drawing, but you will see what I mean. I know it's a terrible drawing. Don't laugh. Actually, you can if you want. But for whatever reason, that is being shown to me. And I feel you will resonate with this. Some of you will resonate with this, and some of you will have this will be a huge piece of validation for you. For some of you, look up the symbol ink and see the symbology around it, and notice how it connects with you or how it resonates with you. It is a symbol of ancient Egypt. Again, I've never been shown visions of other lives or history in my reading, so the fact that this is coming up is quite substantial. And I'm also shown the pyramid, so there's definitely an Egyptian theme to this. Now, the next, so the action here is trust. Trust the universe, trust the process, and lean on those who you trust. And there are people to lean on, okay? You're not alone. The next card is an outcome card. Sometimes it's advice, sometimes it's outcome. And he's asking me to talk about the outcome. So again, I'm going to, I don't even know how to, okay, well, let's do it this way first. So this is the outcome card. I don't know if you can see, but if you look closely, there is one image here of a face, and then there's another. So a lot of purple here, there's blue, and there's pink, a lot of pink. It looks like it's red, but it's actually quite pink. So high vibration color again. Now I'm going to, it actually looks like a dinosaur here. I've never noticed this before. So here's what I'm going to say. And he's asking me to do this. Look up the animal totem rhino, not dinosaur, sorry, rhino. You see the tip here of his nose, horn. Look up the animal totem rhino and see rhinoceros, and see what if that symbology resonates with you. And I've never had that. My guides say that to me before, so that is interesting. But going back to the card as outcome. You know, it's interesting because when I look at this card from this angle, I don't see the rhino. It's very, very interesting. I don't see the rhino. What I do see, though, is I feel like someone up above, someone from the heavens, is looking out for me, and I feel like I'm totally surrounding myself to the process. I'm trusting. So this person is lifting her head or his head up, and she's looking up towards this vision. When I look at it from my in my perspective, it feels very loving, very gentle, very peaceful. There's almost a hand here that signifies I got you. I got you. So the outcome here is whatever is going to transpire for you in a month of March, or through March and April, or March and May, aside from the fact that whatever it is being divinely guided, and it is through your expression. Now, expression is through throat, it's through painting, it's through drawing, it's through numbers. I mean, you can express yourself in gazillion different ways. There's no art necessarily involved with it. But whatever this expression is, expression of self, I feel that you will, it's like you will get to a point where you trust the process so much, you will stop resisting it. There is a certain sense of resistance here as an overall energy. This one part of her wants to move forward, but there's something here kind of holding her back. But what I see here is that you, at the end of the month, or for those of you, if it applies to in May, I feel that a lot of the resistance that you have been experiencing in your past will cease to exist, or at least will minimize greatly. Now, I'm just looking at the clock. That's a long message. Bear in mind that these messages are quite deep. They're not surface, and they will apply to most of you if you open yourself up to the meaning of the deeper message. And again, I'm seeing the number 7. So there's definitely an aspect here of you mastering an aspect of yourself. And it has to do with trusting in the way you express yourself to the world. And like I said, expression could be work, could be hobby, could be anything that allows you to express your own individuality, that makes you feel good and makes you feel inclusive. like you're doing, you understand. Beautiful month, full of challenges, but not necessarily challenges that are negative. Challenges that will gently prod you forward in order to help you realize aspects of yourself that you have been holding back. And with that, I also heard the word father, so there's some kind of a father connection here, but I'm going to leave because it's already way too long. I hope this made sense. Of course, this is a general message, so please listen to your other signs for greater clarity. Keep in mind that this will not apply to everybody, but it will certainly not apply to you at the beginning of the month, so always listen to it, towards it, or at the beginning to kind of have an FYI something might be coming, so that when it does come, you are not totally surprised. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and for subscribing. Of course, if you would like a private message, you can reach me. That information is down below. Thank you with all my heart. I wish you a wonderful month of March, and I look forward to seeing you in April. And for those of you, no, that's too early. I was going to say happy birthday, but no, it's not the time. It's next month. I look forward to seeing you in April, and take care. Bye.